faculty members able to join inside of the tent, we have a row of faculty beginning to line up, so please meet us here. Take control of your health. Wow, what a way to get started. Thank you all for joining us today. Time to commence this commencement ceremony. Good evening and assalamu alaikum, University of Waterloo students, staff, faculty, and community members. My name is Zainab, an alum of this university and your MC for this evening. I'm honored to stand before you today at this graduation ceremony and vigil honoring the 2024 graduating class in Gaza who could not graduate due to the ongoing genocide. I say that I am honored to stand here before you, but in truth, I, like so many of you, feel a heavy storm of emotions within me. Deep sadness and rage that so many brilliant minds could not celebrate their commencement due to the genocide at the hands of the barbaric Zionist entity, and ashamed that my alma mater is itself complicit in this genocide through the academic partnerships it fosters with the Zionists, with institutions located in the Zionist entity. This ceremony and vigil was organized by the same committed students who established the Liberated Zone at Gaza House, now beginning its 5th week. As commencement week begins, these students are keenly aware that their success is not independent from the success of their Palestinian counterparts, and that their accomplishments here at UW, as incredible and inspiring as they are, is not complete until we can celebrate the accolades of Gazans and Palestinians in a liberated Palestine. Without further ado, we will be running this ceremony today like a traditional graduation ceremony for the Gazan class of 2024. It will start off with a faculty procession, faculty intro speeches, speeches by our students, the students who established the encampment. We'll have a valedictorian speech, a graduating student speech, a speech honoring Professor Soufiane Taye, and we will name the martyrs in Gaza, particularly those who would have been graduating. We'll follow that up with a moment of silence and a closing speech, and then we will proceed out of this space. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us here today, and we will begin now the faculty procession.
موطني الجلال والجمال والسناء والبهاء في رباك والحياة والنجاة والهناء والرجاء في هواك هل أراك سالما منعما وغانما مكرما سالما منعما وغانما مكرما مجدنا التهيب
We will now move into the faculty introduction speech by Professor Kim Hong. Please give me a round of applause.
Welcome to Gaza House's commencement. I am Kim Hong-wing, an associate professor in communication arts. We are here today because all 12 universities in Gaza have been bombed. And UW intends to continue with its graduation ceremonies, neither commemorating Professor Sofrontaya nor the more than 350 professors who have died in Gaza, and certainly has not recognized its own complicity in supporting this genocide. More than 90,000 students do not have access to learning. Israel's air and ground war has claimed more than 40,000 Palestinian lives. The people of Gaza deserve our collective grief, but they also deserve our collective action. This human death toll is not the cost or collateral of our education. This human death toll is not university business as usual. The chant "we will not rest until the university divests" is because more than 40,000 Palestinians have yet to be laid to rest. Graduation is supposed to be an occasion in which we celebrate accomplishments and finishing a degree. It is supposed to be an occasion in which we remember the struggles around learning and the hopes to continue our education beyond the space of the classroom and into the world. This vigil, the encampment, the demands to divest are just that. You, the students who have come here to join us today, join your peers at Harvard, University of Toronto, and Cornell, who also held commencement vigils, and you also join your peers at Yale, Duke University, and many other institutions who walked out of their commencement. You are not alone in remembering, protesting, and fighting the good fight. This is the way to complete your education on your own terms and not on the immoral terms of the institution. We hold this space for all the Gazans who deserve to be learning, all the Gazans who were studying peacefully but were met with bombs, all the Gazans who hope to be wearing a cap and gown but instead are laying under rubble. This is the reality, a reality that is actively being denied when institutions like UW refuse to divest from the Israeli military-industrial complex. We are here today because of Gaza. We are here today because we believe that Gazans have the right to be alive. Palestinians have to mourn their fellow Palestinian lives, but also convince the world that their lives are worth mourning. This is why we want peace, but we don't want peace with a genocidal state. We want ceasefire, but we don't want a ceasefire with an apartheid state. Thus, I stand by students. I invite all faculty to stand by students. Why? My family were Vietnamese boat people who lived in refugee camps for months at the end of the American War on Vietnam. My parents and 3 siblings had very little to eat, no access to medicine or healthcare, and as a result of that, my mother gave birth to a stillborn who would have been my brother. So when I walk by the encampment tents, I think about refugees like my family once was. It is a privilege of life to choose between eating this or that. It is a privilege of life to have access to medicine, even if it means waiting in a Canadian hospital room. It is a privilege of life to be able to go home, not to a refugee camp tent. So when I stand by students, when I invite all faculty to stand by students, it is because it was my family that the students in the 1960s and 70s were fighting for. I am thankful for the student movement then, and I am proud of the student movement now. I will now pass the mic over to our first student speaker.
I would like to begin with a land acknowledgement, as we are currently standing on the stolen lands of the Haldeman Tract within the territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. Today, I stand here on the stolen land along with my comrades united under the global student intifada. This university, along with hundreds of institutions like it across Canada, stands complicit to war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocidal crimes that have been perpetrated against the Palestinian people, not only since October 7th in Gaza, but decades before it across the entirety of Palestine. The University of Waterloo refuses to break ties. The University of Waterloo refuses to break ties with the apartheid and genocidal state of institutions of Israel, namely Technion. This university values the thickness of its wallet over the thickness of the Palestinian blood that has been flowing through the destroyed streets of Gaza for the past 248 days. We stand here steadfast for the people of Gaza, inspired by their unwavering courage, their refusal to bow down to a colonial power, and their constant insistence on life itself. And so we, the students, refuse to move until our demands are met. We demand that the University of Waterloo publish a comprehensive list of all of the university's investments, and that this list is made transparent to all UW staff, faculty, and students annually. We demand that the University of Waterloo immediately divest from all defense contractors and weapons manufacturers, and from all companies on the boycott, divestment, and sanctions list. We demand that the university boycott institutions that are supporting the current genocide that is happening in Gaza. Because this has gone on for long enough. The Palestinian struggle for liberation is not theirs alone. The murder of any life is a stain upon humanity itself. Humanity is a complex web of threads that we are all connected in our individual existences. When one part of it gets destroyed so violently, we are all in immense, unspeakable loss. Today, in this vigil, surrounded by my fellow students, staff, faculty, and community, I mourn the peers of mine that have been martyred that I will never get to know. I mourn the loss of their intellect, the loss of their unfinished stories, the loss of our potential shared futures, our leaders of tomorrow. I mourn more than 16,000 children who have been murdered, children who have been orphaned and permanently physically and mentally damaged. I mourn for their parents who once cradled their delicate newborn heads in their arms, determined to shield them from this terrible world, now laying them to rest in the ground in pieces. But each and every person we have lost lives within our souls. We carry them with us every step of the way. Their lost lives will not be in vain. We will never forgive, and we will never forget. Glory be to all our martyrs. May they rest in power and eternal peace. We will take our love, our grief, and our pain, and we will melt it down into a beacon, and upon it, the souls of our martyrs will be our flame, guiding us to liberation. Because we will not stop, and we will not rest, not until the bombs stop falling from the skies, not until the siege is lifted from Gaza, and not until Palestine is free from the river to the sea.
Thank you so much. Incredibly powerful speech from one of the students involved in Gaza House, the liberated zone on campus. We will follow that up with the valedictorian speech from a student who's graduating in the class of 2024. Welcome.
A supposed convocation celebrates the completion of a hard-earned degree, symbolizes the passing of the torch of knowledge from one generation to another, signifies the transition from learning to applying, building, and creating. In such convocations, the students assemble in large crowds and bear unbelievably boring speeches from old dinosaurs, no offense, at the institution. These supposed ancient dinosaurs, through life experiences, accumulated a wealth of knowledge. The families gather around and enshrine the value of knowledge present in the collective bodies of the institution. Excelling students, valedictorians, are given a spotlight to share their experiences from their journey and what comes next. The names are called, the families cheer, scrolls of paper are given, the lights flash, and the pictures are immortalized. The years to come are full of reflection on the years spent in university. People yearn for the youthful days spent in lecture halls, study rooms, and libraries. They yearn for the liberty and freedom of thought they enjoyed on campus. They yearn for the diverse knowledge they seek in different faculties across campus. The formative days during their university journey alter the way of thinking. Some say that the university years are the best years of their life. And we now ask, for what reason do the students of Gaza not enjoy a convocation that certifies their hard work and years of study? For what reason did the students of Gaza abruptly lose their right to an education? More importantly, for what reason did the students of Gaza die? For what reason did the professors of Gaza die? For what reason does the occupation target educational institutions in its genocide? For their commitment to scholarship in an open-air prison? For their dedication to building future generations from the rubble of apartheid and occupation? For their determination and unwavering dignity in the fight against injustice? For their steadfast resilience in their homeland? Fear not, scholars of Gaza. From the youngest student to the oldest professor, for your contributions to knowledge will live on. Wisdom and knowledge are allegedly acquired with time. As one reads, lives, and experiences more, they recognize patterns and make observations about the world. Then, through the exchange of ideas, these notions become more solidified and systemized, eventually making their way into textbooks and curriculum. No one woke up one day and decided to build an engine from scratch. Instead, someone woke up one day and expanded on the cumulative work before them, allowing for them to build an engine. And so, through a natural progression, enough knowledge and wisdom are accumulated to make breakthroughs. In Palestine, however, the most documented genocide in history teaches us that this natural progression of knowledge and wisdom is not a general rule. For the young children have taught us infinitely more wisdom than the old dinosaurs in these institutions. The young children that are orphaned at a young age and are suddenly responsible for what remains of their family. These young children are a breathing manifestation of divine wisdom. Wisdom that these so-called intellectuals cannot even theorize or put into words. The students that persevere in the harshest of conditions, obtaining their graduate degrees and defending their theses in tents, under the raging fire of the Zionist war machine, they refuse. They refuse to give up their pursuit of knowledge. Freedom of thought is a fundamental tenet of knowledge, we are taught. Yet, these same people that preach these values are not free, as they cannot dare call what is going on in Palestine what it is: a genocide, a scholasticide, the longest ongoing modern occupation. They cannot call it what it is because they are not free. In fact, we are not free either. This time around, we learned that there is no true freedom. Instead, there are perceived freedoms that can be expressed when it suits those who are in power. The only true freedom lies in Palestine, in Gaza. There, the words are backed by actions. The struggle is enshrined by loss. The values are upheld. We are not free and cannot be free until Palestine frees us from the thought prison we are in. As with most changes, the young generation of students are at the forefront. The student intifada has woken up the masses. After this awakening, there is no return to inaction. We do not speak of Palestine and its liberation, and more importantly, it liberating us, as some abstract, distant idea meant for the hallways of fake intellectuals. We speak of Palestine as a close reality, one that we will visit within our lifetime, and the tides of change have begun rising. Here at Waterloo, the university chooses to stand on the wrong side of history. They choose to stand with the oppressor. They choose to stand to oppose the tides of change. The old dinosaurs use word salad, emails full of lies, and distraction tactics. They cannot even dare call out the genocide, the scholasticide in Palestine. Gaza gives them nightmares. The profits and partnerships with institutions fueling the Zionist war machine, killing our people in Palestine, prevent them from standing on the right side of history. And thus, the students, in their pursuit of truth and justice, decided to force the university to stand on the right side of history. The wind of revolution had arrived in Waterloo, embodied by the Gaza House Encampment and its liberated grounds. This chapter of the worldwide student intifada is no different from that anywhere else. Their demands: a complete disclosure of investment in ties, the divestment from Zionist institutions and weapon manufacturers enabling the genocide, starting with Technion, the Israel Institute of Technology. Finally, the boycott of cultural and academic Zionist institutions of the Zionist occupation. As a graduating student, I cannot celebrate, as my fellow students mercilessly die in Gaza. I can only say to you that I just began learning from Gaza, from its youngest children to its oldest men and women. I began learning what cannot be taught in textbooks and lecture halls. We mourn your loss and we immortalize your sacrifice for us to understand what it means to be free and dignified, because we are not free, nor do we have any dignity. I would like to conclude with an Arabic poem dedicated to the students of Gaza from the late Arab poet Nizar Qabbani, titled Students of Gaza, تلاميذ غزة. يا تلاميذ غزة، علمونا بعض ما عندكم فنحن نسينا. علمونا بأن نكون رجالا فلدينا الرجال صاروا عجينا. علمونا كيف الحجارة تغدو بين أيدي الأطفال ماسا ثمينا. كيف تغدو دراجة الطفل لغما وشريط الحرير يغدو كمينا. كيف مصاصة الحليب إذا ما اعتقلوها تحولت سكينا. يا تلاميذ غزة، لا تبالوا بإذاعاتنا ولا تسمعونا. اضربوا بكل قواكم واحزموا أمركم ولا تسألونا. نحن أهل الحساب والجمع والطرح، فخوضوا حروبكم واتركونا. إننا الهاربون من خدمة الجيش، فهاتوا حبالكم واشنقونا. نحن موتى لا يملكون ضريحا ويتامى، ولا يملكون عيونا قد لزمنا جحورنا. وطلبنا منكم أن تقاتلوا التنين. قد صغرنا أمامكم 1000 قرن وكبرتم خلال شهر قرونا. يا تلاميذ غزة، لا تعودوا لكتاباتنا ولا تقرؤونا. نحن آباؤكم فلا تشبهونا، نحن أصنامكم فلا تعبدونا، نتعاطى القات السياسي والقمع ونبني مقابرا وسجونا. حررونا من عقدة الخوف فينا، واطردوا من رؤوسنا الأفيونا. علمونا فن التشبت بالأرض، ولا تتركوا المسيح حزينا. من شقوق الأرض الخراب طلعتم وزرعتم جراحنا نسرينا. هذه ثورة الدفاتر والحبر، فكونوا على الشفاه لحونا. أمطرونا بطولة وشموخا، إن هذا العصر الصهيوني وهم سوف ينهار لو ملكنا اليقين. يا مجانين غزة ألف أهلا بالمجانين.
One more time for that incredibly moving speech.
I want to sort of start off this address with a message from the student movement in the Gaza Strip that was sent out to the global student movement last week. And I quote, "An appeal issued by the Palestinian student movement in the Gaza Strip. It is time for revolutionary escalation of the global student intifada for Palestine. We write this call from our student movement in the Gaza Strip, from the heart of occupied Palestine, from under the brutal Zionist bombing, explosions, and the clutches of the monstrous nightmare of death that lurks around us in every corner, house, and street. We raise it from prison cells, from beneath the destruction, and from inside the rubble, to send it to our fellow students, our comrades, brothers and sisters in all the universities, schools, and institutes of the world everywhere. And we address the global student movement that was launched in order to stop the genocidal war that is being engineered and financed by the governments of the United States, Britain, Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, Australia, and others. This courageous student movement that was born in the universities as an integral part of our struggle, that expresses the consciousness of students and peoples who yearn for justice and freedom. We in the Gaza Strip look at you with pride and honor, as you are a revolutionary fighting vanguard and a natural and integral part of our Palestinian liberation movement. You have come in a resounding, honest, and clear response against the Israeli massacres and those who finance them, confronting the companies of the Zionist war of genocide and ethnic cleansing that have claimed the lives of thousands of Palestinian students of all ages, including hundreds of struggling Palestinian student cadres wounded and imprisoned, in addition to our great loss in the martyrdom of our professors and teachers and the destruction of our universities, institutes, and schools. Today, we call on you from the midst of massacres and siege to a new revolutionary phase of comprehensive escalation and to raise the pace and ceiling of your struggle and your honorable stances quantitatively and qualitatively against the institutions, corporations, and governments that participate in the slaughter of our children, our students, and our people in Rafah, Jabalia, Khan Yunis, and the entire Gaza Strip, and against the settler gangs, armies of Zionist killers, and so on, that commit their crimes in camps, cities, and villages in the occupied West Bank and Jerusalem, end quote. And I mention this quote to sort of ground all of us, especially the students present, in exactly why we're here. And I say, tonight, I stand before all of you as a soon-to-be graduating student at the University of Waterloo. Tomorrow morning, I cross the convocation stage and will have my degree conferred to me, along with my peers and fellow graduating class. We get to do this in front of our friends, family, and faculty members, surrounded in love and admiration and joy. However, the weight of this reality for us is engulfed in the knowing that our brothers and sisters in Palestine, in Gaza, are unable to experience the celebration of their achievements as a result of this ongoing genocide. We have seen videos and images across our timelines of the brutality and violence that has been enacted on the people of Gaza. We have bore witness to the stories and daily increase in the number of martyrs who have been murdered by the Zionist entity with financial, social, cultural, and material support of our governments and institutions. The student intifada, birthed in the heart of the struggle for liberation and return in Gaza, has made a resounding call across the world, setting fire for the student movement to be heard, felt, and answered across university campuses, across the world, and right here in the belly of the beast. In the heart of the imperialist empire, students across the world answered the call from our student comrades in Gaza. I struggle to find the words because for over 8 months, so many people everywhere have been screaming at the top of their lungs. People in this space right now have been working and talking and organizing for weeks and months, using every avenue that we are told to use. And so in this moment, what can be left to say that has not already been said? That has not already been witnessed? You have people recording their murder, grotesque images being shared. How many more images of headless babies and of mothers wailing for their family members do we need? That scream and cry of a mother is one that won't ever leave us. I can hear it ringing in my ears, and the faces are etched in memory. We know that our fight is a righteous one. We know that we exist today in a long history and lineage of freedom fighters, of ancestors and elders who resisted and continue to resist colonial occupation and imperialist conquest in our lands, from the Haitian Revolution to the Cuban Revolution, to the ongoing Sudanese Revolution, to the struggle against apartheid South Africa, to the fight against the imperialist goon squad in Vietnam, to Palestine. Students have been at the forefront of every revolution, and if history tells us anything, is that we do not only believe we will win, but we know that we will win. And actually, I also want to, side note, correct something that our dear President Genocide Goal decided to mention at the special Senate meeting today, and address Vivek. You should not be proud of the fact that during apartheid South Africa, Waterloo and other academic institutions still maintain ties with an apartheid state. Apartheid did not end because the white settlers had some moral awakening and decided murdering and oppressing Black Africans was just bad. It ended because of the global community who was pushed by the student movement and the growing escalations by the freedom fighters and the resistance within South Africa that made that global call. It was the student movement led by martyrs like Steve Biko inside South Africa that made it so that an apartheid state was no longer financially sustainable. It was the global call to escalate, to divest, to boycott, and to sanction, and the isolation of an apartheid state that it ended. The apartheid institutions you spoke of, Vivek, like the University of Cape Town, was actually a segregated institution that during that time, and 30 years post-apartheid and 30 years into so-called democracy, the same access to education like the white settler minority in what is called South Africa does not exist. So your argument is about not being able to end ties with the military wing of an apartheid state. Technion is false. Despite the lies in the committees and task forces and word games you choose to play, we are here to say that as the global student movement, we draw our discipline, steadfastness, commitment, resilience, hope, and pride from the legacy in which we exist within, and in knowing that we will achieve our demands as the global student intifada by any means necessary. So you just sit back and watch. As graduating students and as the class of 2024, we know that our knowledge and learnings do not come from the walls of these institutions. Our power and our strength cannot be contained within these genocidal profiteering institutions. Our power and our revolutionary struggle has been birthed and nurtured within the cradle of our collective struggle. And in this moment, we draw our strength from our student comrades who have faced the battle of the gun and a constant boot on their neck. Our steadfastness and commitment to this struggle comes from the unwavering commitment to liberation and justice that our Palestinian brothers and sisters who have lived under siege and occupation in Gaza hold. We stand here united in the revolutionary struggle. Our message to the students in Gaza is that we will not stop and we will not rest. We will hold the line right here in the belly of the beast. We will be an extension of your resistance and your hope for justice and total liberation. Our words will always fall short in comparison to the material reality of your daily lives. And so we, as the class of 2024, and as students engaging in this struggle, commit to you, not words, but action, until the Zionist regime falls. To our martyrs, your name, your legacy, and your personhood lives on forever. It lives on in all of us and continues on within this iteration of the student intifada. You are the lifeblood of our struggle. You are the embers that keep our fire going. Until liberation and until return, until there are no bombs left in the sky, until the birds are heard again and the poppies bloom in a liberated and free Palestine, until my dear friend's mom is able to pick za'atar in her hometown of Khalil, and my dear Palestinian acquaintances and friends I've made at this encampment, who I've had the honor of engaging in struggle with, are able to return to their lands that their mothers dream of and speak of. Until the people are able to mourn and grieve our martyrs, until all families are able to return to their lands, until the schools, homes, and playgrounds are rebuilt, we will continue the struggle, and may your actions continue the fires of the intifada that you have set. Long live the student intifada, long live Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
Also, thank you so much for sharing all of that. We will be moving now to a speech by Professor Omar Mahi, honoring Professor Sufyan Taya. Sufyan Taya was the president of the Islamic University of Gaza and was a visiting scholar at the University of Waterloo from 2021 to 2022 in electromagnetics and optics. He was killed in December 2023 alongside his family in this genocide. Thank you, Dr. Roman.
Thank you very much. Before I begin, I brought a gift to the graduating class. I'm going to throw it to you. Whoever catches it, it's his or hers. I only have one. Hold on. Don't worry, it's not a rock. Okay, here you go. It's a shirt that I designed when I was a student your age, a little bit older, and it was during the first Intifada, 1987. Tells you how old I am. First of all, I want to thank you. You know, this is such an inspiration from the ashes of apathy, I call it. I've been in academia for a while. I've been seeing apathy growing, but you're really shattering that. You're telling us that there's something good is happening. This is great. The university, the administration, the faculty should celebrate you. Should not tell us that you're a danger that we should be away from. You should be celebrated. You should be proud of what you're doing. I have, 10 minutes? You know, we professors are paid to talk, so we have to be stopped. Otherwise, we keep on talking and talking. And I think the best of professors are the ones who talk what they practice. And this is the message that I also want to convey today. I don't know why my destiny was entangled with the late Professor Sufyan Taya. Whether it's destiny, whether it's a plan, I don't know. He wrote to me, he said, I like to join your group, blah, 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 made some compliments, and I didn't know who he was. I always love to give we as was said, we live in a society of privilege. The least we could do is extend the hand. The least, okay? So I didn't know much about him. He came and we became friends. We have beautiful photos, wonderful memories. I invited him to my home. Really, really wonderful memories. He was a gentle soul. I mean, this is what struck me the most, a very gentle soul. I got to know more about him, and he was apolitical, by the way, just FYI. He was a man who was very much interested in knowledge and learning. I'm not going to talk much about him except one very, very powerful story. 3 days before he was blown to smithereens, 3 days, he contacted a former graduate student of mine, asking him to send him some papers because he was writing a papers and he needed some references. This tells you the Palestinian culture vis-a-vis academia. They love knowledge, they love learning, and that's why Israel destroyed, blew up 12 universities, and 75% of the infrastructure, the education infrastructure of Gaza, 75% is gone. As an academic, I have to read something. As an academic community, faculty and students, we need to be grounded in facts, not myths. This is what we teach our students. We cannot build a good bridge, okay, without going to civil engineering. It's as simple as that. If we want solid future, we have to be founded on facts, not myth. Facts, not myths. As long as we remain humans, numbers need to be connected with feelings. And what we call the human experience. That's what feelings. This should remain the case until artificial intelligence, robots, start taking control of our lives. The dream of Elon Musk, if you heard the news lately. It's a fact that more than 36,000 civilians perished due to Israeli bombing and massacres in Gaza. It's a fact, not a myth, that more than 8,000 are missing and presumed death. Have you ever experienced a broken limb or something? I did. Do you know the pain? Imagine what people are going through. Try to personalize it to feel the scope of the magnitude of the suffering. It's a fact that tens of thousands of Palestinians, most of which are women and children, are experiencing severe physical and mental trauma and pain, the level of which most likely, has never happened before. The Save the Children's director said that children wounded in Israeli attacks, quote, are suffering unimaginable physical and mental harm, unquote. By the way, 10 children every day lose a leg or an arm in Gaza due to Israeli bombing. Yesterday, I watched something that really destroyed my mental capacity. I watched a 10-year-old girl with her arm taken off, amputated from here, and she was twitching in pain because there are no painkillers. Why? Why there are no painkillers? It's a natural thing because the Israelis are preventing that from entering Gaza. It's a fact that Israel is an apartheid state. It's a fact. It's not an illusion. It's not a myth. Okay? It's a fact that Israel has special courts for Palestinian juveniles. You cannot show up with a father or a relative or a lawyer, but Israeli juveniles, they show up with all the protection of the law. That's a fact. I was surprised recently that McMaster president, when they confronted him in a meeting, in a governor's meeting, he said, Israel and Palestine is a complicated issue. Really interesting. Complicated issue. Academics cannot understand trivial issues like this. There's some fundamental problems here. It's a fact that here in Canada, we have the concept, in Canada, we have lost the concept of a reference. Our educational system is based on the concept of a reference. What is wrong and what is right. However, I'll be frank with you, these are not truths. but judgments that we collectively make. What's right and what's wrong. Reference should not be the subject of political leanings. Lately it had been. Or agendas, or political agendas. If politics is not based on the concept of reference, then it's precisely, I call it, deceit. Deceit is a bad word. We cannot call ourselves a civilization if we don't have a fixed reference. It's simple, but it's a fact. Now, values are not norms. Norms are patterns of behavior accepted by a group. We cannot impose our norms on the world, but values are shared by everyone around the world. Fact, okay? Sorry. We cannot be accomplices in genocide, it was said. We cannot be accomplices in war crimes. We cannot be accomplices in any enterprise that aids and supports genocide. Why? Why? Because it contradicts our values. If our values are to be subjected in a discriminate way, then they no longer are defined as values. Now, in the last few minutes that I have, I did an exercise. I asked Dr. Sufyan to come and address us. Let's see what he would say. Theoretical exercise, he's resting somewhere, but I bothered him. I said, come down. He would say, thank you for all the sacrifices and commitment. You, the students. You, for the first time in human history, have created a global student movement. Guys, that is big. Are you listening to me? That is really big. Don't think that you are a little dot in Waterloo asking for divestment and other things. No, you're part of a global student movement that never happened in history. Be proud of that. You are doing what politicians have failed to do. Politicians, least vulnerable, they have good pensions, right? In fact, here in Canada, you just entered politics for a few years and you're set, right? They're the least vulnerable. The most vulnerable are the ones who are speaking up. That's amazing, isn't it? I'm proud to be next to you. The social media never made us one. Your commitment and sacrifice and resolve, all of you around the globe, made us one. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Through your sacrifice, this is what Professor Sufyan is saying, not me. You're creating life. Okay? Don't think that your effort as only demanding that the University of Waterloo lives up to its values. Isn't that what you're asking for? I mean, tell me, am I wrong or right? You're not asking for it to live up to something fictitious, right? To live up to its values. So you're creating a movement that needs to be sustained to highlight the inconsistencies between our theory and practice. The very thing we pretend to guard against as academics. When I say academics, don't think that its faculty are the only academics. That's a myth. Students and faculty are both academics. Okay, so please consider myself as those, this is Professor Sufyan continuing. He said, don't consider these are just my words. These are my words and those of myself and the following members who perished with me. My wife, Abir, my son, Usama, a medical doctor, my daughter, Asil, a dentist, my daughter, Isra, a second-year dentist student, my son, Abdurrahman, high school student, my daughter, Lena, fifth grader, elementary school, all perished with him. There were no Hamas operatives in that area. Just a bomb blew all of them. That's not all. He said, this is on behalf of my sister Fadwa, who was also perished, who was also killed with us. My eldest sister, with all her this is another sister with all her family and all her grandchildren, except her son Muhammad and her daughter Noor. All disappeared. My brother also disappeared. My brother's wife disappeared, and all her daughters. In all, this is on behalf of the 60 people who perished that day. The crime took place on the 2nd of December. Guess what? It was only the 29th of April that people managed safely to pick up the remains of those 60 people. Also, he continues and he finishes, he said, before the strike, 3 days before the strike, my father died for lack of medications. So he is not considered one of the statistics that we count. I wonder how many are there. Well, the last thing he said, I have to go back to my resting place. Thank you.
Celebrations that we are this week. I'm going to invite 4 folks up to the stage right now. And following the end of the name reading, we will be holding a moment of silence for 5 minutes.
Maha Ramaz Amin Hassouna, male, 18 years old. Muhammad Mustafa Omar Shihab, male, 18 years old. Rawand Saleh Omar Shihab, female, 18. Mustafa Nuruddin Ahmad Al-Mutawq, male, 18. Ahmad Sabir Yunus Ashur, male, 18. Ahmad Adil Abdurrahman Abu Uwaida, male, 18. Aday Ismail Mahmoud Abu Hamad, male, 18 years old. Jihad Imad Mahmoud Saidam, male, 18. Samia Ahmad Saleh Abu Amra, female, 18. Khalil Sami Abdar, male, 18. Karam Yusuf Nasr Abu Ubaid, male, 18. Saja Adham Omar Al-Luh, female, 18. Abdul Hamid Muhammad Abdul Hamid Zino, male, 18. Suha Azmi Musa Zanoun, female, 18. Khalid Muhammad Abdul Qadir Abu Juda, male, 18. Dima Marwan Ismail Khadr, female, 18. Ala Atif Taha Khadir, female, 18. Anas Muhammad Talal Al-Dabshan, male, 18. Mahmoud Yusuf Ramadan Salman, male, 18. Wa'ad Ashraf Ismail Al-Qara, female, 18. Muhammad Abdul Nasir Asad Shamlakh, male, 18. Abdullah Awad Ahmad Al-Qara, male, 18. Sundus Abdul Karim Hassan Safi, female, 18. Iman Mazen Al-Haddad Qulub, female, 18. Abdul Muti Hassan Abdul Karim Safi, male, 18. Lu'ay Rami Saleh Al-Wadia, male, 18. Muhammad Badr Al-Ghandour, male, 18. Shahada Muhammad Ismail Al-Ghandour, male, 18. Shaheed Muhammad Qadir Abu Tawha, female, 18. Salih Muhammad Rajab Al-Naqab, male, 18. Sajah Mujahid Qadir Abu Tawha, female, 18. Yahya Ahmad Hamdan Barhoum, male, 18. Anas Shadi Walid Baroud, male, 18. Malak Hani Samir Al-Hams, female, 18. Rahaf Ahmad Isa Al-Hindi, female, 18. Tariq Iyad Rizq Badawi, male, 18. Imad Muhammad Izat Abdul Latif, male, 18. Kamal Sahir Kamal Al-Tahrawi, male, 18. Nada Khamis Ibrahim Bahlul, female, 18. أميرة حسين إبراهيم مرزوق, female 18. محمد عبد الرحمن حسن الأمسي, male 18. عادل محمد أبو خوسة, female 18. ألاء مازن يوسف الصلق, female 18. محمد عماد أحمد خهيل, male 18. محمد عاطف محمد أبو الثويب, male 18. خليل هاني خليل أبو سمرة, male 18. ألاء بسيل جهاد أبو جبرة, female 18. زياد يوسف يونس أبو عاسي, male 18. دنيا مجيد مصطفى العمري, female 18. صفا أيمن عبد الكريم أمارة, female 18. أحلام منطر محمود سوليم, female 18. محمود محمد يوسف الديري, male 18. نور الهدى باسم عبد الحميد المبحوح, female 18. محمد صالح محمد درويش, male 18. عيسى محمد عيسى أبو الخير, male 18. لما أيمن موسى جدلة, female 18. مصباح سمير مصباح أبو الخير, male 18. ملك طاهر خالد السوركي, female 18. صفا خليل عبد الحافظ البغدادي, female 18. نوال حمدي عبد المتي أخيل, female 18. أحمد أشرف محمد دبس, male 18. صفية خليل عبد الحافظ البغدادي, female 18. بلال كامل محمود مصطفى, male 18. حميد جاسر حميد أبو موسى, male 18. حلا أيمن محمد يونس, female 18. محمد ميزر جمال حوسو, male 18. أحمد أنور أحمد أبو شويش, male 18. براء محمد أحمد عبد الغفور, male 18. ملك رفيق حمودة بدران, female 18. صدقي حتم صدقي عبد الغفور, male 18. ندى أسامة موسى جدلة, female 18. مساب أحمد جميل ناصر, male 18. مريم صفيان فريج أبو مادن, female 18. محمود رشد خليل عيسى, male 18. رحف يوسف محمد الحلا, female 18.
رغد فيصل علي النعمة, female 18. عدنان مروان محمد أبو غطوة, male 18. محمد يوسف شهادة حمادة, male 18. آية زاكي محمد عماد الدين, female 18. سجا رائد حميد أبو عيطة, female 18. ديما رفيق صبحي المناصرة, female 18. مصطفى جمال حسين, male 18. مينا الله محمد حسين شهادة, female 18. عدي رمضان توفيق أبو رقة, male 18. محمد مروان محمد, male 18. رنا محمد عدي خليل محمد الراس, male 18. أحمد علي صابر, male 18. وسام راهن محمد الدغمة, male 18. سارة ناصر سليمان الأسطل, female 19. سماح محمد سليمان الأسطل, female 19. بلال أنور محمد الأسطل, male 19. أحمد وليد جهاد المصري, male 19. إناس محمد عبد الله شاهين, male 19. عبدول رحمن سهيل حسن الخلوط, male 19. نور أحمد صالح البلوع, female 19. نادين عطلة عبدول الرحمن العيدي, female 19. خالد نايف محمد عواد, male 19. إسراء عبد الناصر محمد عواد female 19 ابتهاج سعيد يوسف زروب female 19 علاء باسم سعيد عطلة female 19 مصاب ناصر محمد مطار male 19 هاني غسان سالم قضية male 19 وسيم أمين جبارة male 19 رسل إسام توفيق الفرة female 19 تسنيم سعيد يوسف المتوفى female 19 راهن فاوزي فايز أبو مالك female 19 عبد الله ماجد علي تاول male 19 يوسف عماد أبو محسن male 19 شيماء حمدان أسد ملكة female 19 أسامة أحمد حسين دلول male 19 أحمد عواد رجب شبان male 19 نور السيد محمد العقاد female 19 أميرة عبد الله محمد القاض female 19 وسام رفيق حمدان عليوة male 19 رامي بلال رابح سعيد male 19 ناصر رامي ناصر أبو عبيد male 19 صفا محمد كامل غندية female 19 رحمة محمد علي اللو female 19 محمد صالح البهتيني male 19 ربا بلال محمد الرملاوي female 19 عبد الله بدر خالد البهتيني male 19 سجد محمد صالح البهتيني female 19 صبرين صالح السوالي female 19 زياد وائل زياد male 19 سنود فايق أحمد أبو القسمان female 19 دينا خميس إبراهيم female 19 رند فايز عبد الحسيني female 19 بيسان حسن شبان female 19 صالح خالد سعيد البايا male 19 محمد حاتم الجمعة الغول male 19 عماد زياد نادي حماد male 19 سماح إبراهيم محمود female 19 ريما رامي عبد القادر الأطفال female 19 أزا مازن محمد دبور female 19 هبة أشرف مهدي برغوث female 19 إبراهيم فادي أحمد الشريف male 19 أمجد سمير عدي خطاب female 19 أنور أفانا أحمد أفانا female 19 شهد سامي كامل الدقة female 19 دانيا زياد محمد أبو نموس female 19
male 20 سعاد أحمد عبد البيوك female 20 رنيم محمد كامل أبو راس female 20 علي فؤاد حسن أبو قوطة male 20 ملك ياسر يوسف دواس female 20 يوسف ماهر يوسف دواس male 20 فارس إيهاب نبيل دبابش male 20 ملك بسام أحمد أبو شربين female 20 أسماء هشام مصطفى أبو ناصر female 20 حلا عمر علي الخضاري female 20 لينا فاضل محمد أبو ناصر female 20 محمد ناصر طلب الخضاري male 20 هدى محمود سالم التلاء female 20 محمد سالم رياض سكر male 20 رزق إياد حماد رزق بدوي male 20 مصطفى تيسير العبد عبدون male 20 معتز منير حسن الحسني male 20 سليمان إسلام سليمان أبو يونس male 20 حمزة صلاح محمد كردية male 20 الحمس male 21 رندا عيد سعد سكر female 21 نور إبراهيم محمد الحمس female 21 مرح حسان شابان حلاسة female 21 أحلام أمير كمال رشوان female 21 مرام محمد عبد العزيز الغول female 21 حسن خالد سعيد البياء male 21 ريم يوسف أحمد العمري female 21 يوسف فايز فارس الشريف male 21 محمد أماد رمضان عبيد male 21 أحمد يسري يونس أبو عاسي male 21 مؤمن حسن محمد النفار male 21 عبد الله أحمد عبد الله أبو عنزة male 21
إيناس عوني إسماعيل أبو زيد female 21 ياسمين ناصر أحمد ناصر female 21 أحمد رعد حسين قنديل male 21 إبراهيم أنس أبو علاطة male 21 كريم محمد أبو شاويش male 21 دردونة محمد صالح دردونة male 21 علا أيمن محمد العربي female 21 حنان محمد صبحي female 21
Of silence for 5 minutes. We will now move to closing out the session.
We thank you all for participating in this memorial and vigil for the Gazan class of 2024 who could not graduate due to the ongoing genocide against the Palestinian people by the State of Israel. Having experienced several graduations myself, both as a graduating student and as a faculty member, proudly watching my own students watching my own students take their first steps towards what I hope to be a long career and promising future, this event formalizes a deep sense of loss and despair that I have felt for the young people in Gaza whose future has been cut short by some of the most extreme violence and hate that we have seen from humankind this century. We must continue to zealously advocate for an end to the violence against the Palestinian people and all oppressed peoples all over the world. However, we must also prepare to help repair and rebuild a society that has been brutally oppressed for decades, with an equivalent to conventional nuclear weapons dropped on Gaza since October of last year. These nuclear weapons I refer to are similar to the weapons of mass destruction and terror used by my own country, the United States of America, against civilians of Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. For many of you, rightfully focusing on the present, thoughts of the future, thoughts of repairing and rebuilding are intimidating in the extreme. Scholasticide is a fundamental part of genocide, where over 80% of Gazan schools have been destroyed or severely damaged, including all of its universities. The last remaining university in Gaza was coldly demolished by the Israeli military in January of this year. Supporting educational facilities, including libraries and archives, are being destroyed as we speak, including the Central Archives of Gaza, which contain hundreds of years of historical documents. However, buildings and educational facilities can be repaired and rebuilt. Tens of thousands of young students and thousands of educators, teachers, and university professors, they cannot. Their murders cannot be undone, they cannot be repaired, and they cannot be rebuilt. But we must prepare for the future without forgetting them and without forgetting the past. I will never forget. I hope that none of you will, and I hope that none of this will end, and I hope that this will end and never happen again. Never again. So what does the future hold? Well, I think that is a question that each of us must answer on our own. Take that with you along with the memories from this memorial. But if action is your answer, consider that it must be sustained and organized to be effective. I say again, sustained and organized. Never again should an unjust racist status quo be an excuse for us to go back to the way our lives were before, on October 6th or 5th or 4th of last year. That would be the ultimate defeat, not just for the Palestinian people's struggle for their basic human rights and freedoms, but for those of all humanity. So what can we do? First and foremost, we cannot help repair and rebuild from a weak foundation. Our own academic studies are the foundation upon which we may help repair and rebuild the education system and other societal infrastructure in Gaza and Palestine. Given this intuitive but infrequently mentioned foundation, there are new and ongoing initiatives, such as the Palestinian Students and Scholars at Risk organization in Canada, whose mission it is to help students and scholars at risk from Palestine to develop their full potential by seizing opportunities in Canadian higher education institutions. For direct educational support, there are organizations such as Academics Without Borders, even though their mission is to help people in the developing world, whatever that means, but it's definitely not the case for Palestinian society from my observation. Both in Palestine and in the diaspora, Palestinians are known to be one of the most educated ethnic groups in the world. The way forward cannot be just through supporting Palestinian educators and students. We need to use modern technology to teach and tutor and collaborate in research development and entrepreneurship. But modern technology, while bringing people together from all over the world through a simple network connection, is not enough. I do not know what the best way forward is, but I know that one day soon I will set foot in Palestine again, not just to support my family and show them that they are not alone or abandoned, but to tutor and teach and rebuild and make what little contributions that I'm able to with my own hands. So I ask you, what will you do?
Thank you so much, Professor Nasser. And thank you to all the faculty who joined us today. Some of those who took the podium and shared their stories, shared stories of other professors who we continue to honor, like Professor Sufyan Taya. The program has now come to an end. Before we head out for the procession, I would just like to thank you all for joining us here this evening. I would like to thank the organizers who put this event together, recognizing that it marks the start of commencement week. I'd like to thank the students who joined today, who are now going to walk the stage, enter the real world, as they say, hopefully as committed leaders to enacting change. And I want to encourage you all to continue to take up the mantle, to continue to agitate for demands, and may we all meet together in a free Palestine. Remember to get home safely, everyone, and we will now begin the procession.
بعزمي وناري وبركان ثاري وأشواق دمي لأرضي وداري صعدت الجبال وخضت النضال قهرت المحال هضمت القلوب صعدت الجبال وخضت النضال قهرت المحال هضمت القلوب فدائي فدائي يا أرضي يا أرض الجنوب فدائي فدائي يا شعبي يا شعب بعصف الكيان ونار السياح وأسمى شعبي بخوض الكتاب برزقي غلامي وأرجو انتصاري برزقي غلامي وأرجو السكون برزقي غلامي وأرجو انتصاري